Alright, what you see here is a Casablanca Delta 2 ceiling fan in the extremely rare champagne finish. This was sold from about 1996 to 1999 or 2000. I'm not 100% sure on that. Pretty sure it was up until 1999, then in 2000 they discontinued these in this finish. This was around the time that Hunter had bought out Casablanca. So this is like right when they started using the XLP motors. This is actually what this one uses, not a K55. Whereas my other 1997 Delta 2, the white and brass one, actually has a K55, not an XLP. From what I've been told, due to it being an earlier one, before they completely switched over to XLP. It was like one of the last ones to utilize the K55, as they were just using the remaining K55 motors that they had. But this one has an XLP in it, and it's definitely, to me, the performance is about the same. Some people say K55 moves a lot more. I really don't see that big of a difference, to be honest. The air movement's still very powerful on these, without a question. And this fan is definitely going to be the next bedroom fan that I install in my bedroom, without a question. Either before I move out of this apartment or afterwards. I'm not sure if I want to take down the Panama 2 in my bedroom for this, like while I'm still living here, or like when I move to a new place and then I put this one up, because it is kind of very similar looking to the Panama 2. But I would not be using these blades on it. I'd rather use the maple blades. Not that I don't like it, it's just it would not match the bedroom well, but I figured since that's what it came with, I figured I'd show it. Plus, it does give it more of a late 90s, early 2000s look, which is what I really like about the fan. But the maple blades will still give it that look regardless. But yeah, I got this off of Facebook Marketplace for very pretty pennies. This and the black and rosewood stuff are like the two most expensive fans I've gotten so far that I have revealed. But that's another reason why I'm kind of really tempted to install this in the bedroom. Really want to look that much different from what I have in there now. It's just it's in a more desirable finish that I like more, and also has the Delta 2 vents, which I prefer over the Panama 2 ones, or more so over the Panama vents, if anything. But yeah, this fan is from November 19th, 1997, and it is the 289th fan made that day. What's also really nice about this fan is, as you can tell, it came with a K4B that is still in very good condition. Despite the in shipping, it wasn't really packed too well. Like it was, just I asked the guy if he could like really pack to like it well. That's kind of the only thing that was really packed well. The only thing that kind of got messed up is the motor got bent a little bit out of alignment, but I realigned that pretty well. But it's a really beautiful finish, in my opinion. It's really classy. It's not just a brushed nickel. I like it more than brushed nickel, in my opinion, just because you see that all over the place. Plus, it scratches up easy. So this is more like a polished one. It's like brushed steel, but polished. It has like a gloss over, so it can't scratch up easily. I really do feel like the bleached oak blades on it definitely give it a late 90s, early 2000s look, which I really do like. It's just my bedroom doesn't have light wood like this. If I did have lighter wood furniture in there, I would definitely use it with these blades, because I really do like how it looks like this. So probably some point in the future I'd use it with these blades. It's just right now I don't have really light looking furniture that would go with it. So it would just really look out of place. And it does have these brass pull chains, which I'm not the biggest fan of on this fan due to the finish. But at the same time, it actually kind of gives it more of a 90s look, I think, because I would see stuff like this quite often as a kid. Stuff from like the late 90s, early 2000s in like a silver finish, by having like brass screws or something like that, instead of chrome ones or something. Or like the ones that are on hang fruit, for example. So I always found that to be a bit unique. I might swap them if I was to install it with chrome ones, but I'm not 100% sure. But the only reason is because I just don't like it when I get like this, where the brass looks really pitted and such over time, whereas chrome doesn't really do that as much. Doesn't look as bad over time. But yeah. And there's the tag. Yeah, I was very quiet about this one. I didn't want to post about it on a group because I already know someone would try to snag it. They were asking a bit much for it originally either way, but since it was the exact comment I would loved for my bedroom, my nice to Blaine finish in a sense, so I just had to grab it. Let me go ahead and show it to white. But I came all the way from the next state over to New York. If I drove out to get it, would have been like an 8-hour drive back and forth, which it's not happening. But not that I wouldn't want to go to New York, but just for a fan, especially I wouldn't make that type of drive for it. So I took the risk of having it shipped, and luckily, it arrived very safely. Though he did write fragile on the box, so to be handled with extreme care. So I think that's the main reason why it survived shipping. But he's a very solid fan, and he had it packed pretty well in this, considering that I didn't have like any packing material for the most part. Plus, it kind of did seem a little bit loose, so I guess whoever grabbed the box, they realized like, oh, it's something that's not packed well, so let's be careful with it and such. But yeah. Whoops. Just had it the wrong way. Every now and then I turn the lights in a different direction to shut it off. But yeah, it definitely gets off good lighting. Let me go ahead and start off on low. I'm also kind of hesitant to install this in my bedroom in this apartment because the panama 2 that's in my bedroom, before I installed it, I was thinking of either putting the white Delta 2 or the brushed nickel panama 2 that's in there now. And I had asked my uncle who passed away a year ago now, unfortunately, which one he thought would look nice, and he said the Panama 2, so I kind of wanted to keep it up for that reason, but this looks so similar to where it really wouldn't be like that big of a change for me. But yeah, it's just I kind of don't want to change it too much since I was there when he was still alive and when he came up to visit from the Dominican Republic. It's also the uncle that got me the white K4B that I had in my bedroom up here in the United States before I started doing YouTube. And the other newer white one that I was going to give to a collector, but after that, him passing away, I'm definitely not parting ways with that one. But this one's also very close to my birthday out of all my Casablancas that I didn't install in my bedroom, so I figured this will be a good one to put up as well. Plus, it's in such a rare finish, and I paid quite a bit for it, so I figured I'd rather just put it up instead of paying that much and have it sit around. Whereas the Panama 2, I only paid like $30 from it when I got it off of Brandon. The only thing is it does wobble a bit on medium and a little bit on the high speed, but I think it's mostly these blades, if anything, not the blade arms. Whenever I do try it with maple blades at some point in the future, I'll see if that's the case. I'm not sure where this was installed, maybe like in a bedroom or something. It doesn't seem like it was installed in the kitchen, which is a good thing. But yeah, there's a lot of places I could see this installed back, like when I was a kid, like in certain locations. Stores in malls, like a Macy's or something like that, clothing stores, Gaps. In fact, this little combinations, like how I would see Gap a lot as a kid, or metallic, like stools for people to like try on shoes, and like bleached oak, like to this coloration. Um, Hair salons, especially, that's a place I could see these in, or like a nail salon. Um, what else? I'm trying to think. Music stores, especially back when like CD stores or and such. Like West Coast videos or something like that, blockbusters. I'm not saying that this is what I could see, but it's just like a color combination. It's like something I could see it going with back in the day. Restaurants. There's just a ton of places I could see this in as back when as a kid. Fortunately, these didn't last too long, so finding one of these is very hard. And the fact that I found one with a K4B that's in good condition, I knew it would not be another opportunity to find one like that's complete like this. I know some collectors have only been able to find them incomplete and had to piece them together to get one complete. And to find replacement parts for it, definitely, it's very difficult to near impossible. Alright, now for medium. I can definitely say this is probably the rarest Casablanca that I have in my collection. I'm using it like to make a sound on medium. It's nothing major though. If I wasn't installed in my bedroom, I actually would have it with the hang shoe most likely instead of the LCA, only because since it's with the K4B, the light wouldn't hang down as well as it does with what I have on the Panama 2, which is just a brushed nickel hunter spotlight kit. One thing I would miss is the bullet spotlight. I do prefer that over this type, but this specific fan I think looks nicer with this type anyways, with the finish it's in, so I wouldn't really mind it that much. Oh yeah, this and the black stealth are definitely like my two favorite finds from the year 2020. And basically, for a 23-year-old fan, it definitely looks like something you'd see nowadays. Sorry for the bleached oak blades. I've noticed there's a lot of brush nickel fans nowadays, or silver looking fans that have really light wood blades. So this is definitely a fan like I feel it could work in a modern looking setting. Even though it's actually a fan that came out long before this style became a trend like it is today. This was back when this wasn't really trending much in style, so it didn't sell too well, which is why it didn't really seem to last too long. Yeah, the silver also has some hunter black hunter preferences. It was asking for quite a bit of money, almost the same amount as this too. Luckily, I already have one, so I wasn't looking to buy that one for that much from him either way. Hopefully he knows what he's asking for them, because those are pretty sought after by collectors. I know that much. It was just one of these, and the rest were just hunter preferences in gloss black. But I don't remember if I think they had spotlights with them as well. I'm not too sure. Well, I think he was asking like 100 for the hunters and 150 for this one. Not too sure. Alright, now for high. It does have a bit of a quirk, and that's because the ball, it's not really sitting it properly to the down rod. Basically, it's not screwed into it. Basically, I have it being held more by the pole, which is the exact same thing I did with the some of my other Casablancas I tested down here. So that way I can have the light not pointing directly at me and more to the corners. I just hate the look of that, and also just having the light shine directly at me while I'm filming. I'm not the biggest fan of, so it's just more so I can have it, the switch housing in a certain position so I can test it. Plus I wanted to have the tag facing directly at me instead of being in the corner where I couldn't really show it too well due to the lighting. I did it with the black Delta 2 down here and a few other ones, so I already know it won't fall. But the black Delta 2, when I did it like that, I had it hung up for almost a week and it was fine, so. And that was with the older types, and this one's definitely more solid, so. It just gives it more of a torque when it goes on to the high speed, and that's it. Yeah, no, it's definitely moving a lot of air without a question. I mean, it's Casablanca. No, older Casablanca more specifically, but I mean, it's still good to this day. It's just not as the same like before in terms of reliability and such, depending on the model. Yeah, definitely. Really thinking I'm gonna install this in a bedroom here in this apartment, and then move out and take it with me and use it in wherever I move to next. It's just I really don't want to see it sitting around for 2 years and then use it, type thing. I just rather wait until it gets a little bit where it's more cool, so that way I can install it. Cause when it's hot, when it's hotter out, it's just more of a pain to install the fans and such. Maybe like around like February or March, somewhere around there where it's still cool but not too hot, or it's not too warm in the house and such due to the heat. We'll see. But obviously I would take a little bit to reveal it to you guys, so it might even be later than that. I definitely gotta do some modifications to it so it would be the way I want it for the bedroom. And the thing is with this is my mom doesn't want me swapping out the other fans in the front area, but she is okay with me doing it with the bedroom one, but for the most part. But this one looks so similar to this Panama, she wouldn't even notice it. I mean, she was okay with me even putting the stuff in the living room, but then we decided against it. So I mean, she is kind of okay with it, just not so often like before. Which I don't blame her. I mean, it is an apartment we're living in. It's not like we're living in our own house. So definitely don't want to be messing with the wiring here too much. But this is definitely one that's worth putting up in the bedroom without a question. One thing I would have to do is put a remote receiver in it so that way I can still operate it with a remote when I'm in the bed at night. That way I don't have to get up just to pull the chains and such. Just put that in the motor housing. That way it would fit in there. Spin down, and then I'll show it on reverse. Interesting. At certain times, I kind of forget that the blades aren't white on this fan. It's actually bleached oak. So I'm thinking it's also because I'm using the daylight over these track lighting bulbs, sort of soft white. So that could also be the other reason. I actually do think that it would look pretty cool with white blades. It's just, these blades are so, they look almost white. I don't feel like it's worth doing a video of them with white blades. Plus, there's a lot of other fans I need to test too. Now, if I had it with a switch cap, I would definitely do it with the white blades, because they did show it in the catalogs several times with the white blades on them. But this is very close to white due to Casablanca's bleached oak being very, very light, sort of, and not having so much color to it like other companies do when it comes to using a bleached oak look and such. Alright. It doesn't have the longest spin down, but that could also be from it not being used for a while. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that whoever sold it to me, the person, it was like they just moved in or something. At the same time, though, Casablanca in my bedroom, even though that when I put it up, it was like brand new basically, except for when me and Brandon tested it. Spin down on that one's gotten longer since compared to when I first put it up. So it could also just be that this one hasn't run for a while, so the bearings on in terms of spin down stiffened up a little bit. I've noticed that to be the case with the fans that I've installed, like even with the Infinity and the living room, the spin down on it now versus when I first installed it there, the black one, it's even longer spin down compared to before. There's two of them I think I'll have to replace soon because the legs aren't gonna hold up too long. As some of the areas where the joints hold it together and such have started to crack, so even though I put those little portions inside of it to hold it, it still will come loose and such. So like, even if it was like this, I wouldn't mind it, but just having the light, it's just having the light like this for the longest, for the majority of the video will annoy me. I don't mind it since at the end of the video, but it's just I don't want you like having the light point at me. Plus, even on the video, kind of can be a little bit blinding somewhat for the person watching it. So, yeah, so that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.